The Philippine peso has a long and interesting history. It started as simple barter tokens featuring Javanese letters, then changed to banknotes written in Spanish, and later in English. Finally, it became the Filipino peso we know today. These changes were caused by political events, cultural shifts, and historical happenings. To understand the peso's story, we must look back at the Philippines' past. Before Magellan arrived in 1521, the islands were already home to many different tribes. These people traded with other countries like China, Thailand, Java, and Borneo. They exchanged things like gold, pearls, and cotton. Eventually, they needed a way to make trades easier. So, they started using cowrie shells as money. These shells were made from gold, jade, quartz, or wood and were used for a very long time. One of the first types of coins in the Philippines was made from gold, which was plentiful on the islands. Gold was used to create barter rings and coins called piloncitos. Piloncitos had a flat base and an embossed inscription with the letters M and A. This inscription was written in a style similar to Javanese script, which was used in the Philippines around the 11th century. Many people believe that MA might be a shortened form of the name of our islands before Spanish colonization. Some historical records from China and Brunei mention trading with a place called Ma-i-Orma Yi. This suggests that the Chinese may have given the Philippines its name. Ma-i was mentioned in the official history of the Song dynasty. This record lists Ma-i among the southern sea nations with whom Chinese merchants traded in the year 971 AD, which coincides with the time the coins were in circulation. Historian William Henry Scott confirms that this is the first positive reference to political states in or near the Philippines. During the Spanish colonial period, galleons from Mexico and other Spanish territories brought a variety of coins to the Philippines. One of the most notable was the cob, or macaquina, a silver coin featuring a cross on one side and the Spanish royal coat of arms on the other. Over time, these cob coins were replaced by a more elegant silver coin known as the Dos Mundos. The Dos Mundos were designed to symbolize Spanish dominance over Europe, the Americas, and the East, and they became known as the Mexican pillar dollar or columnarias because of the distinctive emblem with two columns on one side. These coins earned a reputation as some of the most respected currency in the world. The Spanish not only transformed the monetary system, but also centralized governance and improved tax collection methods to boost government revenue. In the Philippines, the first locally minted coins, called barillas, were small bronze or copper pieces worth about 1 centavo. The term barilla eventually gave rise to the Filipino word barya for small change. The galleon trade established a vital link between Manila and Acapulco, Mexico, facilitating the flow of silver and coins to the Philippines. By the 1800s, Manila had begun minting its own gold coins featuring Queen Isabella II of Spain. On August 1, 1851, the Philippines saw the establishment of its first bank, El Banco Español Filipino de Isabel II, named after the Spanish Queen. This government bank was granted the authority to print Philippine money, leading to the creation of the first Philippine peso, which was printed locally. As the revolutionary fires began to burn, Emilio Aguinaldo declared the nation's independence on June 12, 1898. The first Philippine Republic was solidified with the proclamation of the Malolos Constitution on January 23, 1899, marking the country's break from over 300 years of Spanish rule. The new republic even introduced its own currency. Copper 2 centavo coins were minted at the Malolos Arsenal, and revolutionary notes, denominated as 1 peso and 5 peso bills, were printed. These paper bills bore the label Republica Filipina Papel Monedian, were hand-signed by notable figures, including Pedro Paterno, Telesforo Tridan, and Mariano Limjap. However, the hope for a lasting republic was brief. After Aguinaldo's surrender to American forces, the newly issued currency was rendered illegal, never to become widespread. The final blow came with the Treaty of Paris, signed on December 10, 1898. This treaty marked the official end of Spanish rule, as Spain relinquished control of Cuba, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines to the United States. The Philippines once again would find itself under foreign control. During the American occupation of the Philippines, sweeping changes reshaped the country's banking, currency, and credit systems. The Philippine Coinage Act of 1903, passed by the U.S. Congress, introduced a new unit of currency, the Philippine peso. This peso, valued at half of a U.S. dollar, was carefully pegged to gold. According to the act, each peso was equivalent to 50 cents of gold, and it could be exchanged for gold at the Philippine Treasury, making it the sole circulating currency among the Filipino people. For over 4 decades, this exchange rate remained fixed, persisting until the Philippines gained full independence in 1946. The coins issued under this system bore intricate designs crafted by Milicio Figueroa, a renowned Filipino engraver and artist. As American rule continued to influence the nation, El Banco Español Filipino, the oldest bank in Southeast Asia, transitioned from its Spanish roots into a truly Philippine institution. On January 1, 1912, the bank's name was officially changed to the Bank of the Philippine Islands. During the American colonial period, the bank was fully privatized, marking a new chapter in the financial history of the Philippines under foreign rule. In 1942, the Japanese invaded the Philippines and the country's economy fell apart. The money system changed again, and during this time, 2 kinds of notes were used. The first were guerrilla notes, also called resistance currencies. These were printed in small amounts, like 2 pesos, by different provinces or even towns. These notes were a sign of resistance against the Japanese. The second type were the war notes issued by the Japanese occupation forces. These were printed in large amounts, starting with 100 pesos and later 500 pesos. Since these notes had no real value, Filipinos nicknamed them Mickey Mouse money, comparing them to play money. Inflation hit the country hard, and prices shot up. Filipinos had to carry bags full of Mickey Mouse money just to buy everyday items. A single duck egg cost 75 pesos, and a box of matches was over 100 pesos. In 1944, the American Liberation Forces arrived, bringing with them a new currency called Victory Series No. 66. These were old treasury notes stamped with victory. Finally, in 1946, the Philippines gained independence from the U.S. After the war, the Bank of the Philippine Islands helped rebuild the economy and played a big part in the country's recovery. In 1949, the Bank of the Philippine Islands lost the right to issue pesos, and the newly established Central Bank of the Philippines took over. The first post-war currencies were the English series notes and newly minted coins. Printed by Thomas de la Rue and Company in England, and minted by the U.S. Bureau of Mint, these bills resembled American currency, with Central Bank of the Philippines prominently displayed. The English series featured denominations from 1 to 500 pesos, showcasing Filipino heroes on one side and historical vignettes on the other. Initially, older Victory Series notes remained in circulation, stamped with the new bank's name. From the late 1800s to early 1900s, banknote designs focused on security, using watermarks and intricate engravings to prevent counterfeiting. In 1969, the Philippines joined this trend with the launch of the Filipino series, marking the start of the Filipinization of its currency. These colorful notes, featuring Filipino text, heroes, and historical scenes, symbolized national pride. By 1974, this series was replaced by the ABL series, introduced after martial law, reflecting the nation's political shift under President Ferdinand Marcos' New Society movement.